Don't go up there! Careful, careful, careful. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Don't go up there. Very stupid. Don't go up there! You're a silly cyclist.
Hey, it's Gaz here. Great to see you all back. Episode 52 of City Cyclists. I know it's been ages. I'm looking to start these back up again. I've got a load of clips in storage, so it should be fairly simple for me to whack together a couple of episodes. I'm going to change the format slightly to make it a little bit easier in editing. I'm just going to title each clip, and I want every one of you to tell me which one you think is the worst, and add any comments to any of the other ones. So starting right off, let's look at a must-get in front. The rider in front of me here is just about to be close past by this motorist. The motorist could have easily indicated, changed lanes properly, given a little bit more space. Could have happened if they did a little bit more forward planning, but nope, they just decided to barge past. I think the rider lets it get to their head a little bit, and they're about to pass me as we start moving again on the left and just cut right across, indicating last second. It would have just been really helpful if they either didn't do that or if they just gave me a little bit more of a heads up, because it was a little bit close for me as I was ready to put the hammer down and accelerate, but I chose not to, and luckily I didn't. Here we got some tight filtering, a classic silly cyclist move. We don't know when the traffic lights is going to change. We don't know how long they've been red for. So pulling a move like this, you don't have many escape options. It's not the best thing to do to put yourself right next to the pavement. Luckily this cyclist got away with it this time. It's really important to indicate to let other road users know where you're going. Anyone that knows this junction knows that it's completely changed now, and this is one of the biggest problems with it. This rider here wants to go to the right, but instead of indicating that they're going to do so and they're going to slow down, they move to the left, then pull over to the right whilst braking, which gave me a bit of a hair-raising experience. Shoulder checks can be really important, but make sure that you also know where you're going straight ahead, as this guy just, whilst doing a shoulder check, just goes straight over onto the pavement and luckily rolled out of it and didn't look too injured. Here we got two for the price of one. This rider ahead does the classic mistake of not really knowing what he's doing with his clipped pedals and doesn't quite put his foot down and weight down in the right way and falls over. So I'll come to how I would handle this afterwards, but what we're just about to see is a rider that's going to come up from behind and get the timing just wrong as the lights change and going to just squeeze in front, and he has to jot around the mirror. It just caught me completely by surprise. So which of these two is the silliest? You can see here this guy doesn't really look like he's proficient in clipless pedals. Road pedals can be really hard to use, and my top tips for using any sort of clipless pedal is really get used to it and only unclip with one foot and get used to it and just make it become second nature. I always unclip my right foot because I'm left-footed, and it just makes it so much easier. A little bit of reckless filtering here. You're going to see a rider just pop up on my right-hand side just really quickly. And if you look at the hazards ahead, you've got this bin lorry that's going to stop. There's a car turning out off the left. There's a bus overtaking a van. So it's all just a little bit too much going on. Sometimes you want to filter. Sometimes it's not the great time. You need to pick and choose. And this one really wasn't such a good opportunity to. As cyclists, we don't like to be close past for obvious reasons. And the rider up ahead of me here is going to join, and he's going to pass really closely. If you just look now through the bollards, these sections where there's bollards, there's not really enough space to pass safely. You just need to suck it up and accept that sometimes people are going to be slower. You need to wait. Just take it as a rest and just, get your wheels turning and just enjoy the cycle ride. You shouldn't pass people there. It happens. Some cyclists jump red lights. And this one I feel like I have to highlight. It's just that silly. In fact, not silly, dangerous. We're approaching a red traffic light here. It's pedestrian crossing only. It's not junction orientated. And this guy comes flying past on the pavement. You had two small kids there running. You got lots of kids in prams, on bikes, and walking here. And it was just a silly, dangerous move. We'll see here from the review footage exactly what happens. He joins the pavement. and he didn't want to slow down. And I think the biggest problem here is you cannot see what's happening at all because of this HGV. You cannot make a wise decision about what potentially you could do there. In my opinion, you have to stop. Right hook. I'm traveling here down a cycle lane. I can't remember how fast I'm going here, and I didn't date this footage, so it's hard for me to check. But it's wet. I have a guy behind me. I'm not really expecting this sort of thing to happen, but what's going to happen is the guy's going to just come across from the right and into a side road. And very lucky for him, I have got good brakes and I was able to stop in time. I think it got to the point where if I didn't actually stop, I would end up hitting his rear wheel and he would be the one going off because I would have cut most of my momentum. But just watch the guy behind me who's not covering his brakes, is not prepared to stop, doesn't have disc brakes, and almost goes into the back of me, and he nearly needed to change his trousers on the way into work. So which one do you think is the worst out of all of those? I'm going to be surprised if many of you don't pick that last one. That last one was pretty crazy. But yeah, let me know in the comments which one you think is the worst, and if there's anything else that you want to see from Silly Cyclists in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.